if I had the courage and the stones to be a racing driver, this is probably the class I'd be in. Rotax 177, some of the top racers in the country in this class. Alfie Cockrell and Joe Hunt, along with Scott Klee and Aaron Timberlake. Ben Cowley and Lee Sullivan from Sam Gumbrell and Lucas Ivaskevicius. Then Darlow and Milan to complete the top 10. Watch out for the likes of Jim Rainbird, just outside the top 10. Scott Collins in the mix there as well from P17. Could spring a few surprises. We're going to see some proper no-holds-barred racing as off the final turn. Joe Hunt is our cameraman on the front row of the starting grid, trying to go toe-to-toe as they come through the first turn. I think both Cockrell and Klee are going to get through the first corner. Well, Klee goes a little bit pinball with our cameraman Joe Hunt as they come through the stadium bend. That got very tight indeed, but back on the inside, that was a beautifully executed move.
Great pictures from these 360 cameras, Jake. That just shows you what it's all about. That shot there, just in that little section at the start of the race, the 360 camera really showing you what it's like to be involved in a kart race at this level.
Well, Klee getting sideways out of Stadium Bend means that now in second place is Aaron Timberlake. He's charging after Alfie Cockrell as they come across the line for the end of the lap, and that's a good opening gambit, 37.618 for Alfie Cockrell. Not a long lap here at all, so you've got very little racetrack to play with. As up the inside, I thought there was going to be a big move there from Lucas Ivaskevicius, but he hasn't been able to get the move on the inside there of Gumbrell.
Can I just call him the 71 kart, Jake? Or Lucas? I'll leave you to.
This is the thing when you've been in Europe and you've got 17,000 Lithuanians and Croatians to name over the court. You get good at these pronunciations eventually.
I'm just calling him Lucas.
Lucas will do for you. Ivaskevicius running in behind Gumbrell. Hunt is all the way down in 7th. That's what that little tap and run wide with Scott Klee has done for his race. Klee down to 3rd, Hunt down to 7th, and he's already trying his best to get the bandwagon to move forward. Ivaskevicius in front. What a launch on the inside, but it's too much, and he runs way too wide. He gains 1, loses 2.
Absolutely.
Oh, he's got a problem.
Oh, I'm not sure. Did he hit him there, or
there might have been a little bit of tap?
I think he's just lost momentum.
It's quite possible. I think he might have done the traditional rental kart move and slid it up the inside on the brakes, tapped the other kart, and then lost complete momentum. So Cockrell in the lead from Timberlake, Klee, Cowley, Gumbrell, Ivaskevicius, Sullivan, Darlow, Hunt and Collins. Although Collins, of course, was able to get the move on Joe Hunt off the exit of the curb. So he is now in 9th place. Hunt in 10th from Milam, Williams, Rendell, Walker, Price, Stewart and Rainbird.
What a frustrating start for Joe Hunt, starting on the front row, down to 10th. Now let's see what he can do though, Jake. He knows he's got the pace up the inside of the 43. Scott Collins and makes 1 place. He's on a mission now, but look at this. He's well behind. He's got a load of places, a lot of time to make up before he starts overtaking anybody else.
Well, Scott Collins was on a mission of his own, wasn't he? Because he started from dead last and he's already made his way back up into the top 10. Scrapping away with Joe Hunt is going to cost him more time. But here he is, Joe Hunt, as he runs in 9th position now, trying to catch up to Tim Darlow. I thought for a moment there he might have had another problem out of Stadium Bend as he went through Reggie's elbow. He looked a tiny bit sluggish, and he now comes out of infield hairpin, up towards the left flick, and into outfield hairpin. Infield and outfield, 2 very tough corners, up towards Pylon Bend. If you want to know why it's called Pylon, look in the background. It's not exactly a guessing game, is it?
Yeah, something to work out, isn't it, really?
It's there, quite obvious, really. Alfie Cockrell leading the way, 1.2 from Timberlake and Klee. And these two are tightening up, so Scott Klee definitely with the raw 1-lap pace to match Timberlake as they come up towards infield. And now this is the opportune battle further back. We've got James Price trying to take on Tom Walker, with Jim Rainbird sliding around all over the shop behind, trying to make a move or 2 of his own. Back to the battle for second. Timberlake still in front of Klee. Ben Cowley running in P4. Always a tough race circuit for raw battles, this place, because of course with the London Cup, the races that are going to be high drama and high overtaking attrition is going to be the smaller karts because they're narrower, so you're going to get more opportunities for overtaking in those karts than you will do in these senior Rotax classes, but not for the want of trying. These guys, they're still giving it everything they've got, aren't they?
Yeah, but look how tight the turns are. That tells you that there's plenty of overtaking.
Here comes
Rainbird.
Rainbird.
Overtaking, Rainbird down the inside in the battle for 15.
Great, I remember him from being one of the top drivers in the senior category of the Birrellart UK series many years ago.
BRS, Birrellart, Easy Kart,
what's it called nowadays?
I don't know.
Great banzais from Jim Rainbird.
It's a great starter point, though, for people coming into karting, isn't it? That's the point.
Absolutely, and you know, they've got a good brand and they've got a good series. It's still got good coverage, but this is Obviously, Jim Rainbird's big objective for the season, London Cup on the inside. Oh, chopping across Max Williams' front fairing. That was a close one, and that very nearly got nasty for Max. Bailed out of it just in the nick of time there.
It's interesting talking about DRS there, Jake. Of course, BKC, and they're looking at this battle for second. BKC are running the Bambino Kart Championship, running this event this weekend. Darren Beaver's getting involved, and there's another overtake in the battle for 8th place. Another overtake by Joe Hunt, so
That's
Joe's
impressive.
on the move now. BKC, of course, running this event this weekend, and of course we've just seen at the beginning of the show a little advert for what they're planning on next year. It's going to be a big year for BKC next season.
I'm really excited about it. It's always good when somebody decides to take on the mantle of, you know, the promotion of these young stars that are coming through, and we have got such an incredible waft of talent in Great Britain coming through the ranks, and every year it's added to it by the brilliant Bambino classes. It's wonderful to see these new races coming forward. I can remember like my first ever sight of the Bambinos way back in about 14, 15. It was about a good 5-6 years ago, and it's still incredibly addictive racing to watch.
Yeah, when they were doing time sessions, I was talking to Darren Beavers this morning actually about that. I was saying I'm just glad we got rid of time sessions in Bambino racing. It was so boring back then, but now it's so exciting. We'll see the Bambino classes coming up later in the show.
So Cockrell, Timberlake and Cleeve. Absolutely no tell. Cockrell has completely dropped this pack. That's fair play to him as well. He's clearly taking a leap out of Liam Ferguson's book. And of course, with them being in the same awning as well, it's clear to see that everybody in that awning's got a decent bit of waft under their right foot. Here's Joe Hunt trying to close up on Lee Sullivan now. And it's clear that he's got a good package underneath him. Just look at the speed difference as he comes off of Stadium Bend into Reggie's elbow. And now on the inside of the hairpin, it's like he's standing still. Brilliant move from Joe Hunt.
Well, we know Joe's got the pace, don't we? Because he was on the front row of the grid. So if you're on the front row, you've obviously got pace. And then he's had a really poor start, dropped down to, what was it, 10th place or so?
I think it was 10th at the very bottom of his race run, yeah.
Clawing his way back slowly, but very slowly.
Yeah, he's got a long way to make up still. 7th position and only 5 minutes on the clock. We're on lap 12, of course, now. But that's still a heck of a long way to go, isn't it?
Got to bear in mind, of course, through the outfield hairpin, he pretty much came to a standstill, didn't he, earlier on in that incident? So he's doing well to get back into it.
Next up, it's that man again, Ivaskavicius. So what can Lucas Ivaskavicius do to hold on to him? Because he's got problems of his own. He's trying to close up on Sam Gumbrell. Love this camera. I mean, it just picks up all of the raw energy of the car in the braking zones, back on the power, the vibration that travels through the underside of the chassis. You feel all of it with that camera. We've had some great onboards in karting before, but that 360 camera, it really does pick up every single fiber optic nerve ending on the end of a driver's raw system. It's amazing.
It's an absolute game changer, Jake.
Yeah.
Absolute game changer for the production value of karting. I saw it, well, I've seen it a few times over the last few years, but the cameras, for example, used in the Indy 500, watched that recently. Those cameras, of course, are thousands and thousands of pounds. These aren't that. They're still sort of 400 or 500 quid or so. But it's not just the fact that you got the camera, it's the editing of the footage as well afterwards. And Stu Stratton, who's holding the cameras and running the cameras for us this weekend, does a great job on that.
Alan, you watched a car race. How bored were you in lockdown?
Yeah, I know. Did I just admit that? I just admitted that.
I don't think I've ever heard of you watching a car race. You're so into your karting.
It's true.
That's unbelievable. Fair enough. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, it really does bring, you know, what karting is back to the mainstream of motorsport.
I watched Formula One until I fall asleep.
Yeah, I was just going to say. That's not like you at all. Alfie Cockrell, 3 seconds ahead of Timberlake and Clee. Cowley in 4th place. Gumbrell and Ivaskavicius still having this amazing ding-dong behind the top 4. But this is just stalemate. Clee knows he's got a good kart underneath him and he's got good pace, but he just can't find a way to get past Aaron Timberlake. And Aaron is already very well aware of the fact he can't catch Alfie Cockrell, but he can get 2nd place. And if there's anything wrong with Alfie Cockrell's car post-race, he's got a potential win. So he's just got to hang on to that 2nd place.
Yeah, the thing about this class though, Jake, is it's Rotax. They are extremely reliable. They hardly ever break down. So the chances of Cockerell having some sort of mechanical issue,
it's quite rare.
Very rare indeed. So of course the guys behind, Timberlake and Clee second and third, and then you've got Cowley there just in the background in fourth place. They know that it's unlikely Cockerell's going to have some sort of major issue. Could have a puncture or something like that, but again, very, very rare. So they know they're battling for second, but they will want second. Timberlake will want to hold on to it. Clee will want to take it.
I tell you what, this circuit really does show you, and it's the difference in pace between different karts. I mean, we see it on some of the longer, faster circuits, just how close they're able to stay together. But a short circuit like this one, it really does show who's got it set up nailed right. Because look at the gap that Alfie Cockerell has been able to pull out in the time that we've had. In a final this sort of length, there's no way in normal circumstances you pull out a 3.3 second gap when you've got such talent in the field. It really does showcase the technical know-how of the people getting the setup of the car nailed to the mast.
Absolutely, the technical setup of the car, as you've just said, extremely important on a track like this.
Here we go. Oh, that's going to be a big lunge from Scott Clee. And on the exit, Timberlake's trying to go back at him, but Clee's got it nailed. That was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Move. They go side by side, though, up to pylon.
Goodness me, they almost touched.
Look who's interested now, Jake. Ben Cowley's interested now.
If you just wait for your moment, you're going to get it. Good things come to those who wait in British karting. And here in the London Cup in 177, Ben Cowley might have a chance of this. Timberlake has got to protect the inside line by having a go. Oh, has Hunt got another problem? Oh dear, Hunt has got a problem there, and it's out of the race for him too.
He might have had some sort of puncture. Looked like he had some smoke coming off the tyre.
He is devastated. The curse of the 360 camera at the London Cup.
It is, yeah, that's two of them out now.
Well, Scott Clee, look at how much Timberlake was holding him up, because now that Cowley has got through as well into third position, he's just disappearing. Yellow flags out of the final turn, as with 32 seconds on the clock, Cockerell is only just going to have 2 laps to go, I think, including this one. But that just shows you how much, look at how much pace he's got compared to the others. You've got James Price and Steve Stewart up in front of him, and he's already coming out to lap them.
This is going to be key now. This is key, Jake. 2 back markers now. He doesn't have to do anything silly here. He's got 2 back markers in front. He doesn't even have to overtake them. If he has a look behind, I think he'll know where he is. Let's see what he does. Coming to the line with a lap to go.
He's got 5 seconds in hand, hasn't he? Hang on, he's got his hand in the air. He does not think he's won it. Surely not.
No, I don't think he. No, I think
did he
just
back out? Goodness
I think he's just backing out of it. He knows he's got a huge lead. He doesn't even need to overtake these 2 in front.
Alfie, do not give us that kind of heart attack when you're 4 or 5 seconds up the road, mate. Goodness me, he just decides there's no point getting involved, as you said. We have seen it before, but yeah, there's no point getting involved in these 2. He's just got to hang behind them, let them have their race. He's actually going to give them 1 more lap to fight by not lapping them. But out of the final turn, Alfie Cockerell is going to get this win done beautifully. He keeps it together, nicely handled. Second place for Scott Clee, just in front of Ben Cowley. Aaron Timberlake recovers for 4th, then Sam Gumbrell in front of Lucas Sivaskavicius, Tim Darlow, Max Williams, Sammy Milam and David Rendell. But it's a masterclass run for Alfie Cockerell, who even had time to take breath at the end.
Managed to get away at the start by a couple of kart lengths, and I was just able to keep pulling and pulling until the end of the race. Had quite a nice comfortable gap. Looked over my shoulder a couple of times to make sure I was able to just calm myself down, not make any silly mistakes. So it was, it was really good, thank you. I'd like to say a big thanks to Tony from Supertune for the engine, Kev's Karts for the continued support, ASR for the awning space and the device all weekend, and Joe from JVH Building Services for all his advice and help. Right, well done. Thank you.
Next up here at Rye House, it's going to be the 3rd and final Rotax class as the juniors hit the track.